Okay, so this is part 2 of the video. I've been reading a book called Sybil. It's about a girl with multiple personalities disorder, and in the book it tells about all these terrible, terrible things that her mother did to her. And her mother was a schizophrenic paranoia, um, or paranoid schizophrenic. That's what she was. And she did terrible, terrible things to this little girl, and the girl ended up with um, 16 multiple personalities. And it also talks about in the book how her cousins, her mother had a sister, 2 sisters, I think, and anyway, all of her cousins ended up with some sort of either mental disorder or there's dual selves and things like that. And what multiple personalities is when you yourself are not able to cope with something, and so you disassociate and split off into another personality, and it's coping mechanism because you can't deal with it, so you black out. Basically, in the book is how it's describing it, and you let this other personality, who is another part of yourself that's stronger, deal with the situation. And it makes complete sense to me. And I had the book at the store the other day, and I went to the cafe to order something, and I had the book in my hand, and one of the guys there was like, "Oh, you're reading about that crazy person," and it really made me very angry because this person, she didn't choose to be that way, and she didn't. It's not her fault at all that her mom was a complete wacko. She was the wacko. And even she didn't have a choice because of the way that she was brought up. And mental illnesses are not. I don't like to call people with mental illnesses nuts. Maybe that's because I'm, have problems with some things, but it just really made me mad. Anyway, back to the subject. Paranoid schizophrenia runs in my family. My grandmother is very paranoid, she has had problems with schizophrenia. My oldest sister, who has also done research about all of this stuff, has kind of found this out and realized that my parents, or my mom and grandmother, have a lot of characteristics like this. And yeah. And it kind of runs in my family. Mental illnesses run in my family. My uncle's bipolar, and that's on my mom's side. My mom's side, I should clarify, has a lot of mental illnesses. And my biggest fear is that I'll have kids and I'll resort back to these things that run in my blood. And I don't want to be a bad mother at all. I think that's why I've had so much fears concerning childbirth and raising a child, because I don't know if I can deal with it, and I don't know if I can make the right choices, and I'm afraid that I'll snap and do some of these weird things that this lady did to her, and I don't know. I'm afraid that I'll be a bad mother because my mother wasn't the greatest. And that's my biggest fear, is to bring a child into this world and screw them up, basically. So, yeah, I've been thinking a lot about that lately, And then I've also been thinking about how it's so necessary for me to recover from this stupid illness because I don't want to have a kid and be dealing with bulimia at the same time. It does not look very fun. I know Jill has a wonderful little boy, and he's so cute. And I know she has a lot of problems with this. And I would just be so afraid that he would walk in or something. And maybe he has with her, I don't know. But I'm really glad that she's dealing with it. Because that would be very traumatic. And she seems like such a good mother. She gives me hope because if she can deal with this at the same time and still be that awesome mother and devote so much time to her son, then surely I can do the same when I have kids. So yeah, that's my biggest fear. And what kind of made me want to read Sybil is because sometimes I not black out, but I call it spacing out, because I'll be driving to work and all of a sudden I'll be like, is this the right exit? And it's the same exit I take every single morning. And then I'll just feel so weird and like I feel like I'm watching myself. And a lot of times I'll rewatch some of my videos and think, wow, that doesn't even look like me, or that doesn't even sound like me, or I don't know. And I don't really think that I have multiple selves. I think at one time I dealt with that a lot more than now. When I was really younger and really going through a lot of things, I had this person I referred to as Evelyn. I don't think I've talked about her much in these videos. Yeah, I still refer to her as a different person. It was me, just in a different sense of the word. And yeah, it's really hard to explain. I look at it as tapping into another part of myself, I guess. But then that would be, okay, I don't know how to explain it. I really want to go to the psychoanalyst that, one of my friends, her aunt is a psychoanalyst, and I'd really like to get a analysis done, just to see, because I'm curious. So yeah, again, I'm almost at my time limit, so that's the end.